We all love watching the Minions in the Despicable Me movies, but some of their biggest fans watched the film so many times that they found mistakes that no one has seen before. And we're pretty sure that it will make you smile. Make sure you watch this video until the end to see what happens in the third movie. If you love Minions as much as we do, don't forget to subscribe and please give this video a big thumbs up. Today we're showing you 10 mistakes in Despicable Me even the animators missed. The plane. In the first scene of the first movie, you saw a group of tourists visiting Egypt. Beautiful pyramids were standing high in the desert, but a young boy named Justin couldn't keep playing with his toy plane instead of looking at them. And he seemed to be a troublemaker because his mother had to walk him on a leash. Or maybe she was just overprotective. Anyway, as soon as he found a way to escape, Justin ran towards the pyramids and climbed high to make his plane fly. Security guards tried to stop him, but he accidentally fell on the pyramid. This is how we realized that it was not a pyramid at all. The boy just bounced back on it and flew through the air. Obviously, animators didn't accidentally put a fake pyramid there. This mistake was intended. But there is probably something that you missed while Justin was up in the sky. At first, he was holding his toy plane with his left hand. And then, from another point of view, he was holding it in his right hand. And we think that there is a reason for that. We pay more attention to the left side of the screen because we read from left to right. The animators probably wanted to make sure that we saw the plane because the action was really fast. But we think that this is not a reason to make a mistake. The tourists. When Justin fell on the pyramid, it started deflating, and the tourists didn't care at all that they were not looking at a real Egyptian monument. It was even more interesting to see that it was replaced by a fake one. A supervillain managed to do the impossible, stealing a pyramid. And this is something that tourists didn't want to miss. Or maybe they thought that it was a part of the trip. Anyway, the air coming out of the pyramid was not enough to make them blink for even a second. We wonder how they were able to do this as sand was going directly into their eyes. When this story made the news, no one could believe what they saw. People all around the world started protecting their monuments from any threat. But while they were making sure that no one stole the Eiffel Tower or the Great Wall of China, something else disappeared. Have you seen it? It was the tourists in front of the pyramid. They were standing right in front of it, and then, when the camera was far from the pyramid, we couldn't see anyone standing next to it. We can't believe that they would miss something so important. This is why we think that it is probably a mistake that even the animators missed.
If you want to watch just one more video, the Premium is the platform where you should go. Get early access to videos from The Things, The Taco, The Trendy, The Richest, and many other great channels in one place with ad-free browsing. Click this link to sign up for the Premium and get ready to binge watch videos from your favorite channels.
The troublemaker. When people realized that someone stole the pyramid and replaced it with an inflatable one, Nefario warned Gru that he had some competition out there. And this meant that the villain would have to shape up to keep his title. This is why he quickly organized a meeting in his basement with his minions. While they were there, he talked about all the great things that they achieved that year. It included stealing a television and a football stadium, and stealing the Statue of Liberty and the Eiffel Tower from Las Vegas. As the Minions were getting ready for a new mission, they prepared their weapons. As we could expect it from them, something went wrong. A Minion accidentally let a torpedo explode in the middle of the crowd. But this funny character was not the only one who made a mistake. The animators did something wrong too. When we saw this clumsy Minion in the crowd, he was taller than the others. But then, when we took a closer look at him, we could see that he was just as short as the others. We understand that the animators wanted to make him taller so we could clearly see what was happening, but we'll have to call in a mistake anyway. Minions are strange creatures, but they usually don't suddenly become shorter in less than a minute. The moon. So we saw Gru coming back to his home in his Grumobile and talking to his neighbor about his dog leaving gifts around his house. Then the villain entered his home. He was attacked by his strange dog, and this is when he received a call from Nefario. During all this time, you could clearly see that the sun was shining in the sky. Either Gru was outside, or you could see it through the window. But it changed quickly after. Gru just had the time to go to the basement and organize a meeting with the Minions when he decided to tell them about his plan. After talking for a long enough time to keep the suspense going, our favorite villain said that he wanted to steal the moon. This was when he revealed the moon shining bright right above him. Whether his plan was possible or not, we were going to see that in the movie, but the question was not how is he going to steal the moon, it was how is he able to show it? Minutes before, it was still daytime, and then it was the middle of the night. Moreover, he was deep under the ground. How did he find a way to show the moon from down there? When you don't even follow the law of nature like that, stealing the moon is clearly possible in this universe. The desk. While Gru was telling the Minions that they would be stealing the moon, Margo, Edith, and Agnes were sadly walking alone in the street at night. They went back to the home for girls, the orphanage, where they lived. They walked in the direction of a desk, but there was a yellow tape on the floor to limit where they should go. They said, "Hi, Miss Hattie," and a woman dressed in pink started talking to them. She seemed nice for a few seconds, but she quickly revealed her true personality. Where was the mistake in this scene? Many people would think that Professor Umbridge from Harry Potter just randomly traveled to this new universe to ruin the lives of more children. When we see her clothes and the way she acts, many of us would probably believe that. But this is not the mistake that you should be looking for. The little mistake was more subtle than that, and this is why animators didn't see it. When the girls were approaching the desk, the yellow tape seemed to be at least 3 feet away from it. Then, it looked like it was right next to it, which is not really good to keep children away. We understand that things look further than they really are on camera, but we think that we actually found a little movie mistake in that scene. The bank. Mistakes just keep happening over and over again. To be able to steal the moon, Gru needed the perfect weapon, and as Nefario told him that they didn't have enough money to buy it, Gru had to go to the bank to ask for a loan like anyone else would do. He went to a normal bank, but this one was hiding a little secret. When you go to the bathroom and open the secret passage, you can find the Bank of Evil. And right there was not a little mistake, but an Easter egg. It said that it was previously owned by the Lemon Brothers. This is a reference to a financial services firm that filed for bankruptcy after taking too many risks and being accused of negligence and malfeasance. Now we know what they were up to during all that time. Anyway, when Gru entered the bank, you could see statues on both sides of the room. It represented people holding heavy pillars until they were crushed by them. Gru approached the first ones, and then when we saw him from another angle, he already walked past at least 6 of them. We understand that animators didn't want viewers to waste too much time watching Gru walk through this big room, but it is still a mistake. And just when you thought that animators couldn't make so many mistakes, another one was coming soon. The apple. While he was waiting at the bank, Gru met Vector, another villain. This funny character wanted a lot of attention, but our favorite villain was not ready to give him any. This is why he quickly moved away from him to avoid this annoying character. We won't count this one as a mistake, as it is possible that Gru moved super fast while we were not looking. But another mistake was coming soon. When Gru met Mr. Perkins, the president of the Bank of Evil, the man had an apple in his hand. Gru tried to convince him to give him money so he could buy a rocket and fly to the moon. However, he didn't have the shrink ray yet. So Mr. Perkins was not ready to give him anything, and he looked kind of upset. The president told Gru to imagine that he was the apple in his hand, and if the bank didn't get their money back, he would be crushed by the hand of the president. If you paid a lot of attention to details, you would have seen that Mr. Perkins was holding the apple in his left hand, and then it was suddenly in his right hand when he crushed it. But Gru was probably too scared to notice that little mistake. We have to admit that we would have missed that one too if we were him. The bombs. We didn't see any mistakes for a couple minutes, but we knew that they would be coming back soon. Gru had just found a way to steal the shrink ray that he needed to steal the moon, but he was quickly hoisted by his own petard when Vector took it away from him. How dare he take something that doesn't belong to him? Shortly after, our favorite villain decided to get revenge on this annoying character. The first step to his plan was to enter his home, but he was not even able to do it. Vector was already prepared to stop him with his super weapons while casually playing video games inside his home. Gru's tools were destroyed by a laser. He was hit in the face, the door crushed him to the ground, and a shark attacked him. This supervillain is certainly not someone you want to mess with. But animators made a mistake with the last weapon. When dozens of weapons were fired at him, Gru was wearing his goggles on his head, but after the explosions, you could see that it protected his eyes as there was no dust around them. We don't think that Gru was quick enough to put them on, and the animators probably weren't quick enough either because fans saw this little mistake before them. The book. We didn't see a mistake for a long time again until another one surprised us. After failing to enter Vector's house, Gru noticed that Margo, Edith, and Agnes could easily do it by selling cookies. This is why he decided to adopt the three girls to use them as his new weapon. But Gru clearly didn't know how to take care of children. He let them eat, drink, and go to the bathroom like a dog, and asked minions to take care of them. As we expected, the villain wasn't pleased by the result when he came back home. He still took the time to build them beds, even though using a bomb was probably not the best idea. No matter what, Edith thought that it was fun when he warned her not to cough. But there was still one thing missing before Agnes could go to sleep. She wanted Gru to tell her a story. When she handed him the book, you could see drawings on the back, and then there were the same drawings on the front. Shortly after, we could quickly see that there were no drawings on the back of the book. When Gru closed the lights, the book was still the same, but then we could see the picture again when Margo told Agnes not to worry. The animators should have talked to each other because this book doesn't make any sense. The Prisoner. There are still many mistakes to see in the first movies, but we'll give you a sneak peek of what you can see in the third movie. Many things about the Minions don't make sense. They don't seem to follow any rules when it comes to clothing, just like wearing overalls even when they don't have any shoulders. But this is not what we're going to be talking about. The Minions were arrested for all of their crimes, and while they were in prison, they were not the kind of people that you would like to mess with. They didn't even follow the rules of continuity. You'll see this mistake when they enter the room. You were probably distracted by the fact that the other inmates were running away from them because the minions are really intimidating when they snap their fingers. But if you paid attention to what was on their heads, you would have noticed that one of them didn't have a hat, and then he suddenly had one when we took a closer look. It seemed like the animators didn't learn their lesson from the first movie, and we don't even care because it's really funny anyway. We still have a lot of mistakes from your favorite films to show you, so if you want to see more, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe for more. And just like that, that's it for 10 mistakes in Despicable Me. Even the animators missed. For more videos like this, make sure you watch 10 Despicable Me characters in real life. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye!